For this video, I want to explain how you can start to practice your Baguazhang forms and use them as a working Chi Gong. The main focus of the Chi Gong form is to build the energy and then channel it through various parts of the body. The basics of Chi Gong: as we breathe in, the hands return to center, and then as we breathe out, we press the hands away from the body. We can do this in many different ways. So you can use single arm, you can use both arms, and you'll notice that all of the movements are going to be related to the expanding and contracting of the chest. So this is where we work with the diaphragm and your natural rhythm of breathing. So when we do our Chi Gong, we want to set a rhythm of breathing, and we want to move our bodies in accordance to that rhythm. This is a theme that's carried on through all of the forms. Some of them are more obvious than others, but the idea is still the same. So back to the very, very basis of breathing for Chi Gong. As you breathe in, the hands are going to rise. As you breathe out, the hands fall. As you breathe out, the hands go away from the body. And then as you breathe, they return back to center. The difficulty with doing forms rather than standing Chi Gong is that we have the hands doing various things. So you can work out which hand is going to be your active hand depending on how it matches to the breath. So if we take a look at the very start of the lion form, the in-breath starts as the hands raise. And then as we step around, we close off the chest as the left hand drops, and then the right hand strikes over to the side. We switch the focus now to the left hand, so we breathe in as the left hand rises up through the center, and then out breath as we shuffle forward and claw with the left. There will be parts of the form that move slightly quicker, and there will be parts of the form that move slightly slower. The self-defense aspect of it does come into it a little bit because it's going to drive your intention. As another example, we'll take a look at the start of the circular form. So with the circular form, we're going to start with the feet together. The hands are just going to be by the sides. So as the hands come away, we breathe in. As we breathe out, we slip the right leg forwards and we move into leaning on the horse. Now, as we breathe in, we're going to raise the right elbow as we push out of the circumference. This again is going to expand the chest. So with this movement here, you're going to feel very natural with that in-breath. As we push out of the circle and step all the way round into flower hides under leaf, you're going to breathe out because the hands are going to close in on the chest and squeeze the air out of the lungs. Now to start the next movement, so into flock of wild geese, we're going to breathe in as we scoop over the top of the hand. Then as we begin to lift the hands up, again we're expanding the chest. And now from here you're going to feel that in-breath very naturally filling the lungs. And then just to finish that last movement, we're going to breathe out as the hands sink down. One thing you'll notice that when you're going through the forms, you have different sizes of postures. So for instance, from the start of the lion form, the first movement's relatively big, and this in-breath can be taken quite slowly. As we step around and we do our out-breath happens as we squeeze through and strike forwards, but this is going to be a slightly smaller movement, so you should be able to expel the air a little bit quicker than from the in-breath. The same thing happens on the second movement. The in-breath happens as you breathe in, and then as soon as you naturally get to the point where you're ready to breathe out, that's when you breathe out into your following posture. A great way to practice your Chi Gong with all of the postures is to do each of the postures from a static position or a neutral position. If you start with your feet shoulder width apart as you would do in a static Chi Gong, you can then move into each of the postures individually and try to figure out where the movements and the breathings coordinate. As an example, when we're moving through with the circular form, so as we breathe in, the hands rise up. As we breathe out, we sink the weight into the left leg and move into leaning on the horse. So as we breathe in, we let the hands rise again, take the step back, breathe out and settle back into our neutral position. So as we move into the following position, which is going to be flower hides under leaf, as you breathe in, you're going to turn on the spot, breathe out, all the way round, Hand comes underneath, you sit, and then relax. So you're relaxing on that out breath. As you return, you breathe in, let the hands come away from the body, take your step, and then settle back into that neutral position. The next is going to be flock of wild geese burst out. Because the hands are going to rise straight away into the movement, that's going to be our in-breath. So from our neutral position, the hands rise, we breathe in, we slip the leg forwards, we turn the body, and then breathe out as we settle into our traditional walking position. We're then going to breathe in, let the hands rise, move the leg back, and then breathe out as we settle back into that neutral position again. These are all very good ways of how you can develop from the form into individual postures, matching the breathing, and also just trying to get everything coordinated, so then every single new form that you learn in the Bagua system, you already have multiple stages of development in place before you have to return and learn something new.